So yeah, just talk. Don't look at the camera. Just try and talk to me.
Yeah.
So I want to like first of all, just sort of say who you are and how old are you?
I'm Dion.
Yeah.
I'm Dion Penman. I'm 53 years old. Old enough to know better.
And one of the things to do, like if I ask you a question, if you try and repeat the question and the answer,
Right.
kind of helps me. Just kind of helps.
For editing purposes.
Yeah, helps me with the edit. But right, so I mean, just tell me a bit about Dion and Rom.
My association with Rom started early 1979 while it was still under construction. My dad had moved down to Rainham from East London, and I just come down to see him at weekends. And they opened up a skate shop at the end of his road, believe it or not. It was in the middle of the craze. And I went in there to have a look what they got, all these shiny things that I could never afford. And there was this maffy, gobby little ginger-haired guy that turned out to be Robbie Hunter. And he said, oh, they're building a skate park across the road from my house. And I was like, no, they're not. Yes, they are. Come and have a look. So it's all right. So we came down the Upper Rainham Road, looked over the builder's holding, and sure enough, this place was being built. The first thing to be built was the performance bowl. And we used to come down here at night, jump the fence and skate it a bit when the builders had gone. And that was my introduction to Rom. And then we got chased out. I think they got wise to kids getting in, so they sort of put a security guard here, I think, and you couldn't get in here in the evenings. And it finally opened in the August. It was supposed to have opened at the beginning of the 6 weeks holidays, but it pissed rain all spring, so they had a lot of trouble finishing the concrete. And it finally opened sort of middle of August, and it just, I remember walking in for the first time, and it just like, wow. We'd never seen a skate park. There's no such thing in England, you know, that we'd had really any proper experience of, and it was just like died and gone to heaven. And I've been in heaven ever since, on and off, you know.
So that was 78. So then how long did you carry on skating for?
I skated here till about 82, 83 maybe, and then I got into work. I was self-employed. I'm a scaffolder by trade, so couldn't really afford to get hurt, and you just got into work and girls and cars, all those kind of silly distractions, and my skating got less and less. I always had a skateboard, always into it, but just didn't seem to skate as much. And then I moved away from this area, moved down to Southend, and I opened a park at Leon Sea, and I got in to help build it, put some scaffold up for the ramps, and that got me interested again, and we started creeping back over here, and that was pretty much it.
How old were you then when you got back into it?
Got back into it at that time, probably I was sort of mid-20s, late 20s, skated sort of sporadically, but then about 99, came over here, met Graham Taft and a couple of the other boys, and I thought, oh, maybe I'm not such a freak. There's more of us around, there's more freaks like me around. So then got serious into it, and I thought it'd be nice to just dabble and have a skate now and again, but it's not like that. It gets under your skin, and before you know it, you're hooked, aren't you? And then, you know, I'm over here most days. I can't help it, you know. If I couldn't drive past here and not come in, I don't think my car would let me. I'd have to go the long way round. I'd be fighting the steering wheel, but I love the place. I don't know what I'd have done if it hadn't been for Rom. I really don't.
What do you mean, what you would have done if it hadn't been for Rom? As in kind of
I think
got into other things?
Yeah, I was into boxing for a while, and on and off throughout my life, and a lot of the people I work with and associated with were up to no good a lot of the time, and I think I'd have found myself dragged into that. I mean, this kept me on the straight and narrow, really did, you know. It's, I've had the best days and the worst days of my life over here. It's always something you come back to, you know. It's like home.
How does Mrs. Penman deal with your obsession?
The current Mrs. Penman's used to it. I mean, me and my wife have been together 8-9 years now, and when I met her, when we got together, I said, you know, I like to skate, and I like to skate quite a lot, but she does her own thing, like she's really into running, so she kind of understands what it's like when you've got a sort of craving for things like that. And although she's not into it, she still supports me doing it, and she'll come over here now and again and watch, and it's good. We actually met through this. We met through her daughter, her youngest daughter Charlotte, came over here and started skating with us. That's actually how I met her. So.
And that's Charlotte I've met, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and did you kind of teach her then?
Yeah, she used to turn up, and she had a rickety old skateboard. She'd try and skate and fall off, and it wouldn't work. So we sort of scrounged together a board for her, and it became apparent pretty quick that she was quite good. I mean, you've seen her skate. She can skate like really well, you know. So, and it's because she learned here. Yeah.
What is it about the pool? I know you said to me in the past, like it's an itch you can't scratch.
100%. Yeah. I mean, anyone who skates at regular say the same thing. I mean, they go on holiday. The last couple of days of the holiday, you start thinking about the pool because you know the first couple of times you roll, you get out of the car park, your heart starts beating. You come and jump on the board, and you know you're not going to skate it as well as when you left it because you've had a break. It's a really, really hard thing to skate, you know, unless you're doing it all the time. Especially we're getting older as well now, you know. You've got to sort of accept that, and it is really difficult to skate, but it's rewarding as well. It's a harsh mistress, but she gives back, you know.
One of the things that sort of started me on this project was I heard you. It was like one of the first times I came here, and I was with Emma, I think second unit, and and I heard you talking to her. And I overheard you say that this was like your favourite place on earth, well, pretty much.
100%, yeah. I mean, I've been through skateboarding. We've travelled quite a lot. I've been all over America, both up and down both coasts, and all over Europe, all over the UK. And I would say Rom is my favourite place. And you could go anywhere. You could go to California, you go to Spain. And so, you know, people say, "Oh, where are you from?" You know, you've got a Rom sticker on your helmet, and they're like, "Oh, Romford." Everyone knows it. You know, it's incredible. For us, it's like my backyard, but for people the other side of the world, it's really well known. Everyone's got a soft spot for it. Anyone who's ever been here understands how harsh it is and how hard it is to ride, and I think that's what makes it as good as it is.
And so from skating the pool here, you actually went to California. You did the real thing.
Yeah, we went out. I mean, I could never do it as a kid, couldn't afford to, but we done it the first time we went. I think I was 40, and we met up some guys, and I said, "Oh, do you want to come and skate the pool?" And like, yeah. And that was our first introduction to backyard pool, and to find out how hard it is to actually do that. And we've been back 4 or 5 times since, and we went out to Palm Springs one year and actually got to drain a pool and skate it and do that whole thing, you know, and it was just like, I couldn't sleep that night. I know it sounds corny, but I've done it. It's like what I aim to do all my life, you know. It's part of what it was about. For years you read about it and watch it in videos and think, God, I'd love to do that, but it's just not pools like that over here. But there are, but they're few and far between. You don't really get a chance to skate them like you do in the States, and you go to California and they're everywhere, you know, and it's just an incredible experience to do that. So
that's why it is pretty incredible here, isn't it, that there is this Californian swimming pool in Essex.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, when this place was built, I mean, G-Force, the company that built these places, they were dotted about all around London and the south east. You had like Harrow here, Skate Circus at Wandsworth, Black Lion at Gillingham, Stevenage. This is the only one that's really stood the test of time. Harrow's still there in parts, but I mean it was never as good as Rom. This was, I think, everyone would admit this was probably the best part they built, and it's a testament to the Greenwood family that they've kept it going all these years. You know, I mean it's on its arse at the moment as a business, but they still keep it going. So I think they know how important it is to people like myself and my family. As you see, there's Stuart over there with his kids. Your families come over here, and I've seen people come over I've not seen for 25 years. They come over with their kids and go, "Oh wow, you still skating?" Yeah, and the next thing you know, they're buying a board and they're back into it. It's just another one into the fold type thing.
But it's kind of really quiet though, isn't it, when you think about the kind of heyday, like the BMX days when it was hundreds of kids and the early skate days.
The early skate days even, I mean, you come over and there was marshals and you queue up to go and everything. You get, right, you'll go in a pool, you get a run, you fucked up, that was it, tough shit. You waited 10 minutes for another game, you're like, "Dole." It's incredible. And you know, you could come here on an average Saturday in the summer and there might be 100 people in here. And you're whizzing across each other and snaking each other. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. And then it just died. The popularity went, and people got into other things. Eventually, a lot sort of, I think PlayStation generation, I call it. Like people got into computer games and game consoles, that type of thing, and got lazy.
And it's almost now. It's kind of like our generation and Jonesy and you know, I guess same thing. They're sort of keeping the place running, really.
Yeah. I think out of every generation you get a few that get into it and they'll stick with it. You know, like with the BMXers, you got lots of Billy Mills and some of those guys are younger. A lot of their sort of people of their generation are being the pub, or they're worried about looking good, and you know, and especially in Essex, you know, it's like the Essex culture. People are just not interested in getting dirty and hurting themselves. But luckily, there are a little, you know, percentage of each generation that keep it going. So we're hoping that will keep happening. You know, just perpetuate and just keep on going.
I guess probably in the early kind of days, certainly early days of BMX, there's probably a bit of rivalry, wasn't there, between kind of, you know, BMXers and skateboarders maybe coming here. But now it's just like everyone's sort of rad, aren't they? It's like
everyone gets on, everyone's cool here. You know what I mean, on a Sunday you get your locals, and everyone sort of, we know where they're going to go, they know where we're going to go, and you give each other space, you know. But I mean, you get the occasional people that are new to it. Like there was a guy Sunday when he got knocked silly because he didn't know his way around. It's just one of them things. You get the occasional prick will turn up and sort of start acting up, and I've literally thrown people out of here, like, you know, bullying kids and shouting and screaming, so they get shown the door. So,
but you've got the keys to the place, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, what happened was John Jr. was living in Thailand, as you know, for 5-6 years, and I used to come over after work and help the old man out, like John Senior. And in the end, he said, "You're here more than me." He asked, and give me a set of keys, and I sort of run the shop for a while. I used to do the evening sessions and look after it for him and to give him the dough. Never got paid for it, and it was always like a sort of a gentleman's agreement, if you like, that I could come here when I liked and I just helped out. I mean, I'd be out like clearing the drains, cutting down the bushes, and just helping out because I love the place. I've got a job, so I earn. You know, I've got a wage coming in, so I wouldn't take anything from Rom. You know, it's just paying back a little bit.
Tell me about some of the guys here, like some of the you know the style of some of the skaters, and who sticks out.
For me, the two, out of everyone that comes here, the two that stick out for me would be Graham Taft and Paul Jones. I mean, for me personally, skateboarding's never come easy to me, and I'm jealous of them two because, I mean, Graham moves his style, doesn't he? And he, you know, he's like the epitome of like sort of 70s style. Paul has got the rad tricks, and he goes balls out. You know, he's not scared of it. He doesn't mind taking a slam, and for me, the perfect skate would be like in between the two, a mixture of the two. Something I wish I could be, but I'm getting too old now. And the kids, I like seeing kids come over here. It's like a kid come over the other day, and we talked about drop in. He went home beaming, you know what I mean? Then you put the telly on, or you watch Extreme Sports Channel, and someone's just done a 900, and he's beaming. It's the same level of satisfaction, isn't it? You know, the same sort of level of stoke. That's what I like. That's what I love about skating. You know, there's no rules. You don't have to do. There's no sort of set goals. There's nothing you have to achieve. It's just personal. If you go home smiling, you're getting it right.
How long do you think you can carry on doing it?
Who knows? I mean, when I was 18, it was something we messed about with, and we thought, oh, we'll all be married by 25 with kids and mortgages and blah blah blah. But the older you go, I've got to the point now. It's like, how long can we keep going? As long as it's fun, I suppose. As long as it's still fun, and you're not getting too hurt. I mean, we met guys in California in their 60s, not doing a lot, but they're still cruising about, they're still skating, still enjoying it. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I guess you look at Tony Alva.
Yeah, look at Tony Alva. He's late 50s now. He's pushing 60, isn't he? So, and he's still rad. He's still like, you know, goes off. People like Lance Mountain, you know, they're roughly the same age, and look at him. He's winning comps. And
what about the kind of what are some of the bad slams you've seen here? What's the? I mean, it's a rough place.
Some of the bad slams I've seen here. God, I've probably been involved in most of them. Just the most common one for skates, I suppose, is like breaking arms, breaking your wrist, and twisting ankles, dislocated knees, and I've knocked myself out, knocked my teeth out. Oh, broke my hand, broke my elbow, foot, heart, many occasions. But I think though, if you come to a place like this and you get on a bike or a skateboard, you've got one in the post. And if you're scared of it, that's when it's going to happen, and you shouldn't be here. You've got to have a bit of a kamikaze way about it, haven't you, to want to do it and not be scared of slamming. And then you relax and it don't happen so much, you know, and then if it does, touch it, dust yourself off, try again. But yeah, never be scared of it. I mean, I had quite a bad one about 7-8 years ago. Now. I broke my hand quite bad. I had a pin put in my hand and came out of hospital. I was in 4 days in hospital. Came out. And my wife bringing me home. I just stopped pulling the rod a minute. I just got to pick something up. Just grabbed my ball out of the boot of the car, come in and ground the pole just to get the monkey off my back, you know. But,
Well, just thinking about kind of like the 70s and like when you started. Is there any kind of music that sticks out that you were, because you were a punk and a skinhead and
yeah.
you did that whole thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I think at the time, I mean nowadays skating and punk and all that, it's all part of like a counterculture, isn't it? It all sort of goes together. And you see like the punks nowadays will be wearing skateboard brand t-shirts and Vans, you know. Back then it was a bit more separate. I mean, you had the punk movement. I love punk rock, and I was also a skinhead for quite a while, really into reggae music, which I still collect it. And then we started skating, and I think you bring a bit of each of it in, like, you know. There was no skateboarding now. It's got quite a strong identity. It didn't then, because we didn't have the exposure you got now. We didn't see magazines or videos, and there were no real skate shops at the time. You bought Dunlop Green Flash or baseball boots from Woolworths, and that's what you skated in, because we could only dream of Vans, you know. And but that also was quite a punky look as well. So yeah, it sort of crossed over, I suppose. But the music, I mean, I can always remember being into the Clash, and the older guys would be more into, you'd have like the dreadheads, like they'd be into the reggae, and we'd go up to West London, or you'd have the guys that were really into sort of the old rock, sort of Led Zeppelin and the sort of California dudes. But I think that's another good thing about skateboarding. You meet such a wide range of people. You get exposure to different things. The same with art and stuff like that. You know, it's your introduction into that.
So you got a collection of boards, right? That's your.
Yeah. I've not got any boards that I had in the 70s because we skated until they fell apart. But when I got back into it seriously, I think it's really with the Dogtown film coming out, there was this whole old school thing blew up, and people were digging around in warehouses and finding stuff, and you could pick it up quite cheap. I've got a Z-Flex J Adams, and I've got some old Alva boards and old British like Benji boards and stuff like that, and you could pick them up quite cheap, and I quite liked them. I started putting them on the wall. I think now I've got about 50, so I go up the wall and up the stairs indoors, and every now and again I'll sneak it up on it like I did last night. My wife said, "Where's that one coming?" "Oh no, it's been there for ages." She's quite into it. I wouldn't say she's into it, but she don't mind. She don't mind too much about it. And I've got like just silly collections of like books, I've got stickers going back to the late 70s. If you try to count them, I've got about 6,000 stickers in boxes at home, and pool tiles, you know, the mosaic tiles that we've picked out of pools at different places we've been around the world. I've got this little box with pool tiles, and my wife nearly threw it away. I'm like, "Don't you dare," you know. So what are you going to do with them? Nothing.
And when you go on holiday, you pack a board, right?
I've done that, yeah. I didn't do it this year, but I've done it in the past. It's like open the suitcase and go, "Oh dear, how did that get there? I've not bought any clothes, I've got my skateboard." Yeah, whenever you book a holiday, it's like I'll be at work the next day and I'll Google nearest skate park to wherever it is I'm going on holiday, just to check it out.
What do people? I mean, one of the things I ask Ian, like, you know, Ian says when he tells people that he skateboards, he says they look at him very strangely. Do you get that? Like, with people, do you tell?
Oh, God,
like people like work boss at work, and people are.
I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, so I'm a contracts manager now, and I deal with scaffolders all day, and they're like, a lot of them are like cavemen. They've got no understanding or appreciation or anything like that. Now I pull up on a job and I open my boot up, and my skateboard's always there. You know, I take it wherever I go. "What the bloody hell's that?" "Skateboard." "Oh, what are you going to get for Christmas? An action man?" And really taking a piss, you know. I'm like, whatever. I don't even try and defend it anymore. It's just like. But then again, like some of the guys in the office, like someone will take a photo and send it to me, and I say, "Oh, look at that," and they go, "Oh, wow." They're quite impressed, but don't understand it. But I'm kind of glad in a way, because it keeps it pure, if you know what I mean. It's the people who care about it are the people that do it, and the people, and it matters to those people, doesn't it? You know, it's not like football or cricket where it's just everywhere you look. You know, this is ours. You know.
Is it? would you see it as like a creative outlet for you? I mean, I know there's a lot of people, it's great, but if you're not an artist, is it your kind of form of?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I've never really tried to do any art. I mean, I appreciate art from what I see. I don't really know anything about it, but I like what I see something, I either like it or I won't. Same with music. I played the guitar for a while, played in a couple of bands, but never got the feeling out of that I got out of skating. So I suppose, yeah, it is. I mean, if you've got any sort of creative bone in your body, you need to let it out, don't you? And it's, for me, if I've been hurt or been ill, I can't skate for a couple of weeks. It's so frustrating. To the point my wife would say, like, for fuck's sake, go and skate. Go to Rom. Get out. It's like,
but you had an accident, right? Was it you had a bad accident?
That was really the thing that really got me back into skating. What happened was I was at work. I was still on the tools at the time. I fell off a scaffold. Didn't fall too far, but I broke my ankle, knee, and hip. I was off work about 18 months. And I had to go down to Southend. I was registered disabled for a while. They told me I had 2 or 3 operations, and they said, right, you're probably never going to walk without a stick. And we would say probably in 10 years you'd probably be in a chair. This was February 99, and 17 years later I'm still going strong, so I proved them wrong. But I had to go for yearly assessments, and the one I had to go was in Southend, so I went there, came out, feeling sorry for myself, had no job, just didn't know what I was going to do myself. And happened to drive past the skate shop that we used to go into, and it's still there. So I went in, got talking to the guy, and he'd taken over Dion Skatepark and asked if I'd come and help him do some repairs on the ramp. So yeah, right. So I went down and done it. He said, I'll just pay you a day's wages type thing. So I went down the shop a few days later to get some money from him, and sure as shit, he's got no money. So he said, well, look, I'll give you a skateboard. So you're right. So that was really what got me seriously back into it, And I was living nearer Romford and Southend, so I thought I'd come over here just to see who it was about. Like I say, I met Graham and a couple of other old guys that were about at the time, and that was it. I was hooked. It was like being 15 again, yeah.
And then you trained as a nurse, right? Or you went to film school, or?
I went to film school. Like I say, I was rattling about. I couldn't scaffold anymore. They took my scaffolder's ticket away, so I couldn't get insurance to scaffold anymore. So I thought, what am I going to do myself? So initially I thought, well, what am I interested in? I was always into film and cinema and music. I've always been really into music. So I went to film school, done a degree in film and sound production. Really enjoyed it, but hated the industry. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all. Couldn't get a job, so now I'm back to square one. Just done a bit of labouring work, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I'm not the sort of person to sit around and just sponge out the dough. So someone suggested, why don't you train to be a nurse? You're good with people, you might enjoy that. And it's like, nah, I couldn't do that. And then I thought about it, well, maybe. So I went there, I was walking through Romford, and there was an advert in the job centre. It was an open day for the university, London South Bank University, so I'd give it a try. So I went down, and before I knew it, I'd signed up. First thing my dad said to me is, he's like, you're not on a turn, are you? My old man's like Alf Guardian. So I'd done that, qualified, went into nursing, and what they wanted to do was push me towards sort of management, like ward management, which weren't why I went into it. I wanted to be hands-on. Ended up having a big round, walked out and bumped into one of my old bosses, and he said, well, look, I want someone to come in to train to be a contracts manager in scaffolding. Got the knowledge, I did it for 20 odd years, so that's what I do now. Quite a good job. It's quite lucky. It's not like a 9 to 5 job. You have a workload and you manage it how you like, and mine sort of runs around what days I want to go skate. And like today, I got up early. I was up in town at 6 o'clock. I was back over here for 3 o'clock, sort of thing, because I knew there's going to be a few people about. So I try to do that. And whenever I get a new job, the first thing I look is where can I skate that's nearby. Skateboard's always in the boot of the car. So yeah, it's great.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Yeah, I was just thinking, just things you're saying. It's like, how can I slot that in? And yeah, no, it's brilliant. That's really cool. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Something to work with. Oh,
yeah.
fuck, man, I'm stiff now.
Yeah, look, have a listen.
That's incredible yourself for that, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
So that's what I wanted to go into the sandwich.
Really?
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I can't think.